It is another edition of Time About the Movies, and not just any edition of Time About the Movies, because not only is this the last week of movies for 2009, this is the last week of films in the first decade of the 21st century. Sort of. We'll talk more about that at the end of the show, but we have 4 movies to look at that came out on Christmas Day 2009. And most of these movies turned out to be pretty good for the most part. And then there's that one little black spot there, the black sheep of the family, if you will. But we will get to that in a little bit. But before we do that, let's take a look at the biggest new release of the weekend. Easily one of the stronger films of the weekend, no doubt about it. And one of the great ways to end the year off, Sherlock Holmes, starring Robert Downey Jr. as Sherlock Holmes, Jude Law as Watson, in a film directed by Guy Ritchie.
Absolutely.
Dinner?
Wonderful.
The Royale?
My favorite.
Wear a jacket.
You wear a jacket. Sherlock Holmes, you underestimate the gravity of coming events. Death is only the beginning.
His power grows daily.
There isn't any time to waste that.
Sherlock Holmes. Starts Christmas Day.
It's 1891 London, and Sherlock Holmes, played by Downey Jr., and his partner Watson, Jude Law, captured Lord Blackwood, played by Mark Strong, after conducting a human sacrificial ritual, and he's sentenced to death by hanging. He requests Holmes' presence on the day of his execution, and warns him that 3 more deaths will occur after his execution that will change the very nature of their world. After his execution, he is resurrected and prepares to exact his revenge on the world. And I guess why this movie confused me so much was because so much is going on that you do get lost at various points during this movie. But then again, it also didn't help that because the dim lights in the theater that I saw this in back in the day were so dim that I almost fell asleep. Not because of the film itself, just because I was tired that day. And I remember that. That's one of the things I remember when I went to the movies to see this for the first time. But in the years since then, it has grown on me. The film, I could see it a whole lot better at home, but at the same time, there's still a lot of stuff in here that's kind of confusing overall, and does kind of, ruin the whole ebb and flow of the film in general. But like I said, overall, I did really enjoy the movie. I thought it was very fun overall. Robert Downey Jr., once again, knocking it out of the park. I mean, this is a guy that was just on such a hot streak at this point in his career. Like, anything he touched turned to gold at this point. I mean, Iron Man, Tropic Thunder. I like him as the soloist, even though that wasn't a big hit. And then, of course, this movie. But, he's really good in the movie, too. Everybody else did their parts okay. Rachel McAdams was pretty good playing Irene Adler. Jude Law, overall, was okay as Holmes. Like, he wasn't bad or anything like that. It's just like, he doesn't leave much of a lasting impact overall in here. I think the production design overall is incredible, and the visuals are top-notch. The best thing you could say about this movie is that this film has a slick style that fits right into Guy Ritchie's directorial style. Like, when he's fighting the guy inside the cage, and he's thinking about all the different ways he could hurt this guy and win the match. Like, it's in slow motion, too. Like, it doesn't feel like you're losing any of the muster there. It's not like Zack Snyder slow motion. Like, you can see and feel every bit of the action going on, and it never bores you. It never gets you on the edge of your seat. It's just like, it never gets you off of the edge of your seat. It still keeps you captivated all across the board. I mean, I think the ending overall, which was very much a controversial cop-out by most people at the time, I thought it worked overall. If the one thing I could say about the film doesn't really work overall, it's surprisingly Mark Strong. And Mark Strong can be a really good actor, and I've seen him in a lot of other movies, and a lot of movies where he's playing the villain, where I think he's done a better job. But, I mean, when I'm thinking that Andy Garcia, I'm thinking it's Andy Garcia and not Mark Strong, and I feel like Andy Garcia probably would play this a whole lot better. That's kind of a problem altogether with the film. And yeah, like I said, a lot of the times the visuals are great, but then there's one time when they're in the slaughterhouse and the building starts to explode, and you can see Watson getting hit the most, and it's just like, you gotta think to yourself that guy's dead, because he's literally sitting there. You see it in the trailer where, he's telling Holmes, he's like, Holmes, and then the thing explodes, and like, he's literally in the back of where the explosions start. Like, that guy should be dead. But no, an officer says, Watson's alive. And it's just like, come on, man. Like, there's no way you can survive a blast that huge. I mean, you're not V from V for Vendetta. I mean, when you're blowing up Big Ben. But then again, maybe Holmes and Adler shouldn't have been able to survive either to begin with. But still, you gotta have a movie here. And yeah, it's definitely a very flawed movie overall. It's not a great movie per se, but it is a film where I have come around to like it more than I thought I could. I mean, I liked it enough back then. Didn't really give it too much thought afterwards, but watching it again recently, yeah, there was still a lot that I do admire about it overall. So it is a good film overall, just not the great film I think everybody else makes it out to be. And it's not that the movie is bad per se. It's just like way too much goes on in here. But unlike the next movie where we're going to take a look at, where so much is going on in there that it doesn't make any goddamn sense, this movie is at least trying and actually does succeed for a number of different occasions. Like, I still think this is one of Guy Ritchie's stronger films, though. This is right up there with stuff like Snatch, Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, Rock and Rolla, even Aladdin. I'll throw that in the same category here. But yeah, I like this one. I like this one enough. The second one, not so much. And they've been talking about doing a third one with the guy who did Rocket Man, but that's been talked about now ever since they were talking about doing ever since the second one came out. And yeah, I think the second one kind of killed any buzz for a potentially good Sherlock Holmes movie at this point. But again, they could still probably do it. But then again, I would be better off if they probably didn't do it at this point, because it's too long. It's too long in time for another sequel in general. At least that's my personal opinion on that. But still, I think this one's good enough to watch overall. It's still a fun movie overall. So with that said, let's go ahead and move on to the black sheep of the weekend, the worst of the films that we have here. And that is, of course, Alvin and the Chipmunks back in one of the worst sequel titles you will ever hear in your life, the Squeakquel. Yeah, it's probably not a good sign when I just showed you the best thing about this goddamn movie, them singing the 20th Century Fox logo. I mean, if that's the best thing that this movie has, then boy, we're in some big trouble here. This is Alvin and the Chipmunks, the Squeakquel, which, yeah, terrible title. I've said my piece on that, but yeah, I've said before that I didn't mind the first live-action Alvin and the Chipmunks movie. It's no classic, but it was at least a tolerable movie. But this is where the shit literally starts to hit the fan. Cue the airplane clip. But in this movie, you have Dave ending up in the hospital following an incident at the VH1 Save the Music contest, so where the Chipmunks, voiced again by Justin Long, Matthew Gray Gubler, and Jesse McCartney, are performing. While in the hospital, Dave enlists the three Chipmunks into school and puts their Aunt Jackie, because heaven forbid if we put in Miss Miller, or keep any references from the television show in there, and her grandson Toby, played by Zachary Levi. Pretty crazy, but yeah, doing a god-awful Dane Cook impersonation and acting more like Shazam and the Fury of the Gods than Shazam in the 2019 movie, to take care of them. At the same time, their former producer Ian Hawke, played by David Cross, tries to get his revenge on the Chipmunks with a different trio of Chipmunk singers named the Chipettes, voiced by Christina Applegate, Anna Faris, and Amy Poehler. That right there is problem number one with this movie. Yeah, it's cool to see the Chipettes in the movie, but at the same time, like, why are they voiced by named actors who are never going to be on the poster for this? Nobody's going to even recognize them per se. Like, it's just, like, it's Christina Applegate, Anna Faris, and Amy Poehler. Like, at least with the first movie and the three Chipmunks, Justin Long, Matthew Gray Gubler, and Jesse McCartney, it makes sense because, of the names there, Justin Long's probably the biggest one of the bunch. I mean, Jesse McCartney is not even that popular at this point in 2007 when they were casting this, but Justin Long, he's not like a big leading name actor that's going to sell the tickets in general. Like, he's the biggest name of the group, but he's still more like that character actor that we saw back before he became kind of more of a prominent leading actor. I know he's been in a couple of leading roles since around that time, but this is still like relatively small stuff compared to this. But this time around, you got three notable names in this movie. Christina Applegate as Brittany, Anna Faris as Jeanette, and Amy Poehler as Eleanor, and it's just like, why? Like, why have these names there? Especially since all you're going to do is speed up their voices, and it's just like, what's the point? Like, why are we even doing this? Like, why are we even bothering to have these big names in this movie? To have these as the Chipmunks? It's just like, again, you're not going to put this on the poster. No kid that's going to be a fan is going to want to go see this movie. It's just like, ooh, Christina Applegate's in here, Anna Faris, Amy Poehler, like. You think the parents are going to look at this and go, like, why are they, is it be like, ooh, I can't wait to see these three in here. It's just like, no, it's neither of them are going to be that way. It's just like, it's just one of the most pointless voice additions that I've ever seen for a film like this. There is no reason why Christina Applegate, Anna Faris, and Amy Poehler should be casted in this. None at all. Like, you could have just gotten Ross Bagdasarian and Janice Carmen to do these voices again, and it would have been fine, but no. We got to be hip to the kids, because clearly they're going to understand this movie here in general, which brace yourself for for a really, really unpleasant experience, because let's talk about the many, many subplots in this movie, and I'm not even kidding. There is a ton of subplots in this movie, which, first of all, you have Dave getting injured because of Alvin's antics, and then while he's in the hospital, he decides to be like, you know, I'm going to put you guys in school, but not a regular chipmunk school. No. We're going to take these little chipmunks and put them into a school with humans. Like, we're going to have them be around with the kids in there who are literally humans, and as soon as they get there, they're like the hot shit. Like, the girls want to bang them, which first off, and then the jocks are just like, somebody's got to take those chipmunks down. It's just like, if you are really that intimidated by 3 little chipmunks that are about this small, maybe you need to reevaluate your life a little bit. Like, if you are intimidated by chipmunks, little chipmunks of all things, like, just like. And that would be enough, but no, the shit keeps getting deeper and deeper because the bullies beat them up, and then Alvin and Simon beat the crap out of them, like literally rip them to shreds, which is a very funny, dark anime bit of animation there, where they literally are attacking the bullies for beating up on Theodore. But of course, we can't have that one bit of good humor in this movie, because as soon as that happens, the principal, played by Wendy Malick, who is a big fan of the Chipmunks, needs them to help him save the music program, because the music program is about to shut down, and we need to have a big competition or a contest or something like that. But then let's bring in Ian Hawke again to bring the Chipettes in, like, to have them be their successes and have them be assigned in the same school, so so Ian can enact his revenge on the Chipmunks, because why not? But then again, David Cross usually is the strongest part of these movies, and sure enough, he is still one of the best things about this movie in general. But if that wasn't enough, that would be more than enough as it is. Because then the Chipettes are trying to warn the Chipmunks that Ian's trying to go get them, and then it's just like, turns out that, yeah, clearly the bad guy is a bad guy. But no, that's not even the end of it all, because we have to have a subplot where Alvin gets to spend more time with the jocks in the school. They went from being like, we need to kill these motherfuckers, to, hey, you're all right, come join us. It's just like none of this makes any sense whatsoever, and like, it's just like. And the shit gets deeper because Alvin is so important, is so much in line with these jocks that basically he completely forgets about his brothers. They have this ritual where they gotta watch Meerkat Manor, which, yeah, Meerkat Manor was a thing back in the day, you probably don't remember. And Theodore has this fear of eagles because of what he sees on Meerkat Manor, and that's another subplot they added here. Toby, Zachary Levi's character, tries to get the courage to talk to the girl of his dreams, who's one of the teachers there, played by Angela Johnson from Mad TV, who works at the school now, and, you know, he's the socially awkward guy, and I'm socially awkward too, and I could beat the shit out of this guy. And, you know, there's a subplot about how, you know, their aunt is basically out of the picture pretty quickly because Toby's a klutz, and he's kind of an idiot, and, as I said, the Chipmunks are attempting to save the music class.
Shut up! Oh my god, I don't care!
Which is funny, because that's how I feel about people who won't stop bitching and moaning about the Lilo and Stitch remake. Look, I'm sorry that you don't like these live-action remakes, and you just want them to go away, but people want to go see these movies. People want to see these films, and it's a big hit at the box office right now. And if you can't handle that, then just go do something else with your life. Seriously. But back to this movie, there's at least like 10 different subplots in this movie, and it's just like, why do we gotta make this so goddamn complicated? Honestly, like, this movie should not be as complicated as you would think it would, as you see it as it actually is, because it's just like, there's no reason why we have to have all these pointless subplots, because most of them are pretty pointless. Like, what are people there to see? We're there to see the Chipmunks, and we're there to see the Chipettes. And unfortunately, they have them, but they have to have all these different random subplots, because clearly the writers of this movie did not have a script to work with here. And the worst part is, this is not written by hack writers. This is not made by a bad director. This is directed by Betty Thomas, who did Private Parts. You know, she did The Late Shift. She did the Brady Bunch movie. This is a seasoned directing personality who has really made a lot of good stuff in her career. The script was co-written by John
look what you
Beatty
did.
from
You
The
killed the
Simpsons,
comedy
written
guy.
by Jonathan Abel and Glenn Berger, the guys who made Kung Fu Panda. Like, these are not hack writers. You cannot tell me that these people who have written far better material were behind this and said, this is our best work that we had available to you. No. Because I'm willing to bet you what happened. The first movie was a big hit. They didn't have a script ready to go, so they just wrote a random script out. They called John Vitti, they called Abel, they called Berger and said, hey, can we use your name for this project we've got coming up? They don't even tell what the project is, and they're just like, sure, why not? Shut the phone down. That's why their names are on there. Because I refuse to believe that the same people that wrote Kung Fu Panda and wrote for The Simpsons wrote this pile of garbage. Because this is a pile of garbage. And one thing I can easily say right off the bat that's good about the movie is that the animation definitely is a whole lot better on the Chipmunks. I mean, you can tell that the budget got a little bit higher with them involved in it, but I mean, most of the music overall is still fun and upbeat. I know it's all different covers and different hits, but at least in the songs, it's still Ross Bagdasarian and Janice Carmen. But other than that, though, there's just nothing here. Everything about this movie is just so bland, so forgettable, just so much of a waste of your time. And it's a shame that the creators of this have let the series gone down to being just complete and utter garbage. But I mean, I'll give it this: it's still watchable than the other films in the series that we're going to get to. Because yeah, it's going to get worse and worse. But unlike the Ice Age movies, where at least some people are putting effort into it, the effort levels in this keep getting lower and lower and lower with each passing film. And it's just like, this is what the Alvin and the Chipmunks franchise has been reduced to, unfortunately. It's just such a damn shame, man. Just such a damn shame. So, anyway, that's Alvin and the Chipmunks, the Squeakquel. I just wasted over 10 minutes of your time talking about it, but I'm sorry. It needed to be said. But let's get back to the good stuff. Let's go ahead and move on to our next movie, which is It's Complicated.
Jane and Jake used to be married until he cheated with Agnes. Now they're married, but he still has feelings for Jane.
I've never really known how to live without you.
You're not.
Turns out I'm a bit of a slut.
This is wrong.
I like that you stopped getting bikini waxes.
So wrong.
And just when it couldn't get any more complicated,
You brought me a gift.
I thought that would...
it did.
Oh,
Sorry.
I'm not.
It's complicated.
OMG, I thought he'd never leave.
This film is not yet rated.
So this is a film that stars Meryl Streep as a bakery owner and a single mother of three who starts a secret affair with her ex-husband played by Alec Baldwin. It's 10 years after their divorce, only to find herself drawn to another man, her architect, played by Steve Martin. A cast that also includes Lake Bell as Alec Baldwin's new wife, Hunter Parrish, Zoe Kazan, John Krasinski, Mary-Kate Place, Rita Wilson. A really, really solid movie overall. This is a movie made by the same people who did Something's Gotta Give, Father of the Bride, Nancy Meyers, and it's a really enjoyable movie. It's a film that knows it needs to have a good cast overall to give it the oomph that it needs to really be a memorable movie. And Meryl Streep, Steve Martin, and Alec Baldwin, just great names all across the board there, and it just works for them all. I mean, they all play their parts very well. The chemistry between Streep and Baldwin and Streep and Martin work very well. You can see why Baldwin and Martin would later host the Oscars just a couple months later and really knock it out of the ballpark. They were both really damn funny. And the movie overall is really damn funny. It's a really solid movie, and it works because the casting overall is really good. You have a good cast overall, a fun concept overall, and just with the right people involved, you have a really good film that can easily stand out, no question about it. I mean, it's a really good movie. It's a really entertaining film, and it was a massive hit. Played very well, and yeah, it's a great movie. I highly recommend it. It's complicated. So with all that said, let's go ahead and move on to the last official release of 2009, Terry Gilliam's The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus.
Nothing's permanent, not even death.
1,000 years ago, Dr. Parnassus made a deal with the devil.
Voila. Voila.
Now, a mysterious outsider will take the traveling show beyond their imaginations.
Can you put a price on your dream?
The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus, rated PG-13, starts Friday, only in theaters.
So in the movie, you have a traveling theater troupe whose leader, played by Heath Ledger, has made a bet with a devil, taking audience members to a magical mirror to explore their imaginations and present them with a choice between self-fulfilling enlightenment or gratifying ignorance. And this is a cast where... Well, I'll talk about this first, because the big thing about this movie was the fact that Heath Ledger was supposed to be the star of the movie, but he died 1/3 of the way through the production. Like, the film had to be suspended, and so essentially... what happened was Ledger had completed most of the movie's running time as a whole, but then, you know, they had to do reshoots and all that type of stuff, so they basically recasted his role with Johnny Depp, Jude Law, and Colin Farrell doing different versions of his character as they go through transformations of the characters as he's traveling through a different world. So it's a film that is very much a unique experience just for that alone, by the fact that this is one of Heath Ledger's last projects, and you have these three heavyweight actors coming in here to essentially do their takes on his character. You see also it has a cast that includes Christopher Plummer, Andrew Garfield, Tom Waits, Vern Troyer, Lily Cole. So there are a lot of good names in this movie, and the film overall is good. But I feel like it could have been a whole lot better. It really does fit into Terry Gilliam's unique style, unique visual style that we saw in some of his classic films, Time Bandits, Brazil, Adventures of Baron Munchausen, even stuff like 12 Monkeys. Like, he's a good director overall who very rarely misses. And this one doesn't miss. This one is an overall enjoyable film, but I feel like on a story level, this could have been a whole lot better. The story overall could have been much more enlightening and much more engaging. But as it is, it's a good movie. It's a really good film. It has a beautiful visual feel to it. The visuals overall are top-notch. Like I said, it's right up there with some of Gilliam's other works. It's just such a really, really good-looking film overall. Not a great film overall, but certainly a lot better than I think it could have been. Like, let me rephrase that. Like, it's a good movie, but I feel like it could have been so much better. It should have been a whole much better than it actually was, but as it is, a good film. You can definitely see that there was a lot of room for improvement, but as it is, it's a good film. It works for the visuals, it works for the acting. It's fine. It's a fine film, but it definitely could have been a whole lot better. So, there you go. The last film of 2009 and the last film of the first decade of the noughts. I kind of misled you there. The 2000s, I guess, is technically considered the noughties, if you will. But bottom line, we have finished the first decade of movies in the 21st century. And, yeah, 10 years now officially gone. That means we still have about 12 years left of this show in particular to look at as we begin the new decade of films next time around. But, of course, before we get to the new decade's new films, we have to do the thing that we have to do usually, and that is The Leftovers. The Leftovers, mostly being direct-to-video movies here. I mean, there is one notable direct-to-video film that was supposed to be a theatrical release, but then Warner Brothers kind of screwed them out on that. But we'll take a look at Balls Out, Gary the Tennis Coach with Sean William Scott, the three films that Paramount tried to do when they tried to enter the direct-to-DVD game, the sequels that direct-to-video sequels to Road Trip, Beer Pong, Without a Paddle, Nature's Calling, and Van Wilder Freshman Year. We'll look at Warner Premiere's Spring Breakdown, Lionsgate's Still Waiting, the sequel to Waiting. American Pie presents The Book of Love, which I should have been looking at the other American Pie movies, but we'll delve into that next time around. And of course, the four Warner Brothers animated films that came out on DVD: Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman, Public Enemies, Watchmen, Tales of the Black Freighter, Green Lantern, First Flight, and last but not least, Trick or Treat, which, like I said, was supposed to come out in 2007, but was shipped to DVD in 2009. And we're going to delve into all those movies coming up on the next episode to jumpstart us into the new year. So with all of that said, thank you so much for joining us. And if you like these videos and want to see more of them like it, go ahead and hit that playlist on the next page. Check out the previous episode. And also don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button, the notification button right there, and the bell. And you get updates on when new videos come out, because we do post new videos here every day. So with all that said, I am off. I'll see you guys next time, and we start a brand new decade on the next episode. So, with all that said, I'll see you next time. Take care.